Welcome, pirates, to a list of 10 useful tips you may not know in Sea of Thieves. As you start or continue to play this game, there are a lot of things to learn. Still, to this day, I am learning constantly. The first thing on my list is if you ever find yourself in a situation like this and you can see that your health requires a little bit more food, instead of eating a coconut or any other type of food that's actually useful to you, you can go ahead and switch over to any type of worm, grubs, or leeches. That not only will top off your health, but it'll give you a chance to collect any of the throw up that you get from eating the worms. Our next tip, a lot of people actually know already, and that is how to dodge a shark in the water. If you ever find yourself stranded or are swimming from island to island, the easiest way to dodge a shark is to swim directly towards him and then dive straight down as soon as he is ready to chomp. Just beware that sometimes the sharks can get trapped right above you and go for a second attack right away, especially if you do try to attack them. Speaking of things in water, rowboats are actually able to have their own unique tip. A lot of people don't know this for some reason, but you are able to power brake with a rowboat, either using LB and RB on controller or Q and E on mouse and keyboard. With that, you're able to make a lot sharper turns as well as come to a complete stop a lot sooner, which makes using the rowboat a lot easier. On the topic of rowboats and paddles, the one thing we want to learn how to do is board properly. With a sword out in your hand, you're actually able to silent board a ship rather than climbing a ladder normally as you would and hearing the water come off your body. That alerts enemy players. One of the things you want to do, whether the ship is moving or not, is approach a ladder with your sword out and hold block. With that being done, as you can hear, the audio is a lot quieter, and that'll give you a better chance of not alerting any enemy players. Next, this one comes with a little bit more experience. For those who like to use a sword or like to sword lunge, there's actually a way to cancel the sword lunge animation, and it is as simple as just grabbing onto something, such as a ladder, a steering wheel, or even a cannon. By grabbing onto something, it'll give you the opportunity or the chance to continue to defend yourself. Our next tip comes with no surprise: to be able to climb outside of a window and back on top of your ladder. With this tip, it is very useful because if you are ever in combat, you can go ahead and climb outside of your ladder, really throwing your enemy off guard. But that's not all. You can actually take this a step further. It doesn't matter if the window is open or closed. You can actually still find yourself outside of the ladder with the window closed, because there's still an opening just right outside here that you're able to grab at any time. Another interesting thing I found out about sloops is instead of just opening the cannonball crate from the middle deck, which is of course very useful, or even from a storage crate being able to grab cannonballs, you can go ahead from the top level and grab cannonballs. This is very useful for especially people that are helming the ship. If they ever need to replace their person on the cannon, if they ever get into trouble in any way, you can go ahead and access those cannonballs from up top. You don't have to jump down to grab them. This makes it very useful to either store or grab items very quickly. One of the last advanced tips I have for people that play on sloops normally or find themselves in a situation on a sloop is the fact that you can actually shoot through parts of the ship. For example, the grate on the top of the ship, you can go ahead and shoot through to hit an enemy on the floor. And if you want to take it a step further, if you see someone hiding behind barrels, you can shoot through the staircase itself. Now, this is very useful for people that are trying to spawn camp you, or if you find yourself in a weird situation like I said before, and you find someone that's tucking on you, and it's very impossible to be able to approach them with a shotgun underneath without dying. You can go ahead and use your precaution, shoot them from a distance. Taking that a step further, once more, you can actually stand on the top of your canopy and throw blunder bombs on the top of your ship. That way you can hit enemies inside of your ship if they are trying to sit inside. My next interesting thing are about kegs. Now, a lot of people aren't really aware of this, but whenever you actually detonate a keg, it'll do a certain amount of damage to your ship, and that will be 4 holes. Now, you can go ahead and repair that as soon as possible. It makes no difference, but as you can tell, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 holes from 1 keg. That is the normal amount of damage you can do with 1 keg. If you have a stronghold keg, it'll do 8 holes, and if you have an ancient keg of black powder, that will also do 4 holes of damage, but the explosion will be so big that it usually kills everyone in the area, creating an actual real problem whenever you have that. So if an enemy player does come on your ship, don't worry, just try to avoid the explosion. That way you can repair your ship and be back to sailing in no time. My last tip actually comes while watching a fellow streamer, Fuzzy Bond. One day, him and his chat actually went all the way to Fort of the Damned to try out one little thing. Now, if you guys don't know, you can go ahead and place lanterns inside Fort of the Damned to start the actual ceremony or ritual, as you may call it. But one thing you can do to disturb this, take a water bucket and throw it on the flames. This will put out the flames of Fort of the Damned if you like to. I don't know why you would ever really have a reason to do this other than to tuck, maybe give yourself a little bit more time to mess with people. But nonetheless, now it is something that you know. That's going to be my list of 10 useful things you may not know in Sea of Thieves. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, especially if you are new. Make sure you subscribe to the channel for more Sea of Thieves updates and content. Also, feel free to check out my Twitch, as well as, once again, thank you to Fuzzy. You are the man, the myth, and the legend. Have a great day, stay safe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.